Am I now live? Oh my god, guys. It's been so long since I've gone live. I don't even know. I couldn't even figure out how to do it. And my husband went to Australia and he left me with this stand that's crooked. Hopefully my phone won't fall off because right now my phone's being held up by elastics. Yep. But these are things I do as a wedding coordinator because I have to figure out, if it's not working, I got to figure out a plan B last second. So I'm so excited to, I'm not officially launching Wedding Wednesday again. I just was in the mood. But we'll see how it goes tonight. And I'll do it again for sure. Hi! Who's out there? This is so much fun. Oh my gosh. I'm kind of nervous. I haven't done this in so long. Okay, so some people have sent me questions. But if I miss your question, just shout it out. If you have another question that you didn't send me earlier, shout it out. Hi, Greg. So excited. Okay, so it's a question and answer. I have nothing planned. Hopefully there's not too much noise in the background. Hopefully my kids don't interrupt us because I'm home, because my husband's in Australia. And I don't know how long it's going to go. Wedding Wednesday used to be an hour, but I don't know how long we're going to go now. Where is my studio? My studio office, it is at 665 Millway, Unit 23, and I'm upstairs, and it's a shared unit. So I am sharing it with a videographer, a few other businesses. There's a decorator. There's even a psychologist, therapist. So it'd be a good thing for you guys to come. Plan on getting married. Do your therapy first. Go see the decorator there. Come see me. Get invitations. Go see the videographer. Hi, Linda. Hi, Daniela. I'm here, and it's Wednesday, and I've missed you guys. So that's where I am. And if you need to come see me, you need to make an appointment because I'm not there all the time. If you show up there, the door may be locked. But someone might be there. But I am by appointment only still. Now, a few announcements. We are doing the bridal show. And that is the second week of January, the weekend of the 10th, downtown. And if anybody needs some tickets, let me know. Private message me. I'm sure I'll have some in my hand soon. I don't have them yet. I will let you know my booth number at a closer date. But I will be at the bridal show this year, which I haven't done a bridal show in a few years, and I've actually never done the one downtown that everybody does and everybody goes to. So I'm excited for that, and come out and see us and say hi, and lots of other vendors there you can talk to as well. Tell us about some of the past weddings you have done and experiences you have. Woo! Well, we're gonna go through some questions, so I'm sure we'll hit some of those. Weddings. It's very hard to talk about some weddings because I have to be very careful about not to insult people and not to call out any professionals that may have had a bad night because I wouldn't want to be called out. So I try very hard not to mention any names. If you want to DM me ever, if I'm talking about a videographer, photographer, a place that I was not happy with, you are more than welcome to private message me and ask me, but I'm just not going to bash anybody on here because that's not what we do here. But the plan is to do Wedding Wednesday again. The plan is to have giveaways, and the plan is to have guests on and other people that we can talk to and ask questions to, and lots of topics that we haven't hit and topics that we've hit before that maybe you missed. And there really is no plan. I spent so much time thinking about a plan, and there really is no plan. This is what it is right now. The Petsa dance. We will talk about that because it's actually in my questions here. Are you doing the engagement contest again? So when will you do that? I usually do it, and then I think I do it around Valentine's Day, don't I? Pretty sure I do the contest around Valentine's Day where I give away a free coordinator for the evening. Last year or this year was a bit of a, pardon my French, shit show how it went down. So unless I find a better system, I'm not going to do it again. So yeah, but I will have contests and I will do some giveaways, even if it's not going to be the send your engagement photo in and everybody votes. I will think of something if I don't do that one. What else? Okay. So number one, I'm doing the bridal show in January. Come and visit us. Number two, I have to mention, because a lot of you don't really know, and just in conversation. Hold on, I'm trying to read questions and talk at the same time. I do an article for Snapped. So Snapped Vaughan, if you're in Vaughan or you have any access to Snapped in Vaughan, I do an article every month on stuff about weddings. So go get it, read it, go find it online. I can send them to you if you'd like. Or you can just wait for my book to come out. And you guys can read it all in there. But if you are interested in reading the article, I never really get any feedback on that. It's hard to like do something in writing and then it goes to everyone's houses. You never know who reads it. So if you do read it and you do get it, please message me and let me know so I can get some feedback from you guys. Do you like the article? Do you not like the article? Should I be placed on a better page? Just saying. Someone asked about the car. The promo for the car is done in 2019, so we were giving away a free Escalade for the weekend of your wedding for you to use. That's been going on for about 2 years, and we're just going to have to look for other promos now, or it may start up again at a later date, but as of now, I haven't promised anybody in 2020 the Escalade. Hope that answers your question. So, I have some questions here that were sent to me earlier. Like I said, if you have any questions, go ahead and write them there. Hopefully I won't miss them. And if you have any opinions on any of these questions, any answers for any of these questions, go right ahead. Let's have a discussion. That's what I love about going live on Instagram. I was debating, and I might still do. I do have a YouTube channel. I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's not very good right now. But I was putting all of these shows that I've done in the past on YouTube. But I wasn't really working on it hard. So I'm going to work on that hard and try to do some YouTube videos. But I really like the live. I like the interaction. And I don't know what I was contemplating. Okay, so when does Tuesday night game night start again? Sorry for asking. I have no idea. You need to ask the guy who does Tuesday night game night. And he's not here. He's in Australia. But you can message him because you know he's always by his phone. And he's awake right now. It's actually 10 in the morning there. Yes. But we don't like him right now because he's in like 37-degree weather. And it's just not fair. Yeah, if you're married like I am and you have your moments where you're like, oh, I wish his husband would just get out of here for a few days. Guess what? Don't wish that. Sucks, especially in the winter. Summer is different, but in the winter, I've had to like shovel snow. I'm not doing a really good job at that. I've had to take the snow off the cars, I've take out the garbage bins over the snow. I've had to deal with this wretched smell that's in my house because something's wrong with the pipes outside. I don't have my winter tires on. I have to figure out how to get those switched. It just really sucks. Like I didn't realize how much he actually does, but don't tell him I said that. But he does a lot. So not having him here is a little bit hard. Yeah. Okay, and the other thing I want to talk about is I should have gone with him. I have gone to Australia with him once. We went to do a wedding together there, and it was a lot of fun, and I really love Australia. Honestly, that's one of the countries I would move to because the people are nice like it is here. Like they are here. It's just the weather is nicer. I'm lucky to have him. Aw, thanks. Sometimes I want to kill him, but that just comes with the territory. Okay, so the other thing I want to talk about, which I haven't posted anything about yet. I know I've said a few things here and there, but I am going to make a proper post, and I'm going to set up, how you can get tickets. But I am turning the 40 next year. I know, and I'm having a party, and I'm going to be selling tickets online, and I'm inviting whoever wants to come because we are doing a charity event. It's not going to be a charity event where you come, you have to buy raffle tickets and sit at tables. No. It's going to be a cocktail party, cash bar. You pay for your ticket. Money goes to charity. It's being donated to Waves of Change for Autism because for those of you who don't know, we have someone with autism in our family. And also I used to work with children with autism. So it's close to my heart. So I'd really like to help families with children with autism because it's a struggle and it costs a lot of money. So no gifts. That's what you're doing. You're coming, and you are my gift, your presence, and your gift to me is for you to help raise some money for these families to help them out with their therapy and whatever else they need. So it will be at Bellagio, and it will be on May 22nd, and that's all I can tell you right now. But stay tuned for that because I'm excited for that. Who requested to be in my video? Oh, I don't know. Okay, so other questions. Where are you having the event? Bellagio. Did I say that? I don't know if there's a delay. Okay, so I've had some questions sent to me. Someone asked, what do I think about photo booths? I actually love photo booths for many reasons. You know why? Because I like the ones where you can take a photo and the guests get their own, like whoever's taking the photo gets their own copy, and when the bride and groom get their own copy. It's fantastic because these little moments in the photo booth are the best, happiest, funniest, drunkest moments that the bride and groom never get to see. These are not really the moments that photographers get a lot. They'll go. Photographers sometimes will leave at 11. They don't get the really drunken hour. They take pictures of the crowd, but they don't always get those moments that are a lot of fun. The enjoyment that people are having. And what I like the most about photo booths, if you can do this, is you get a scrapbook. You have, if the photo comes out, whoever's in the photo glues it into the book. That photo goes to the bride and groom, and you can write a little message beside that instead of having guest book. I absolutely love that because there's a picture, there's your message. So that's my take on photo booths. I do like them. I'm not a big fan of, no, I'm not going to say that. Okay. Stop myself. Okay. So another question is, how much should we be putting in a booster for shower and wedding? Okay. So for shower, I say between 100 and 150. For children, a little less. For weddings, you have to put at least $200 a person for them to even have a little bit of a gift. And prices are like anywhere from $135, which is really low, to like $220 something. And I know it's not your problem if someone decides to go somewhere where they paid a plate to something. It is not your problem. Your job is not to cover your plate, but the going rate is not $150 anymore. You don't put $300 for two people. You can put $350. I know that I put $400 if we're not that close. If it's someone I know, between two of us, we put $500. Excuse me, my throat's getting dry. I should have had water, and I am getting over my strep throat or whatever it was. It wasn't even strep throat. It was some other infection. So that is my take on boostes. I'm not sure, excuse me, if you guys agree or not, but that is my take. Another question I had here was, how do you pick a date? Do you go to the church first or do you go to the hall? Well, I would check out both, see what, if you're really stuck on a hall, go see what dates they have available, then go to the church. Don't book the hall yet. Go to the church and see what dates they have available at the church. You always have to book the church first, or you always have to let the church at least think that you booked them first, because they'll get really upset if you go book a hall and then you book the church later because apparently they're more important. But there are many choices for halls. For churches, usually they want you to go to the one that's closest to your house, the one that you attend. So either the bride's house or the groom's house, and if not, you might have to go through getting permission from other churches, and then you'll have to go to those churches every week and put your busta and show your face. So if you can make your life easier and you do like your parish, then go to the church first, find your dates, go to the halls you like, see if the dates coincide, and book your church first. That's my answer. Hi, Milan. Hi, Chris13. I don't know your name. Sorry. Okay, you should get sponsors for your Wedding Wednesday where you promote the business to everyone. I know. I will. We did in the past, and that's how we had giveaways. So I'm working on that. Because there's a lot of good products out there that I think that brides and grooms and couples, and even if you're already married, because I know a lot of people who are married or watching, they like to watch this, or they like to message me about everyday topics. They would love the products that I'm interested in having sponsored. So we will get there. What was another question? Can you plan a wedding in less than a year? Yes, you can. You can plan a wedding in just a few months with some stipulations. Is that the word? You can plan a wedding in like 3 months, but you might not get every vendor you want. You might not get the photographer you want. You might not get the place you want. So you have to be a little more open to your options. You might not get the dress you want because most dresses have to be ordered, how long, Daniela? At least a year in advance. So your options are limited, but it's very doable. You don't apply for your marriage license till like a month before your wedding. The churches, although I did have discussions with someone the other day, some churches will not allow it because they want you to be going there for at least a year and showing your face. Unless you really know the priest and they've seen you every week for your entire life, they might let you get away with it. And you go do a weekend course because you have to do the marriage course when you get married in church. But of course, if you're going to get an officiant, get married at the venue, you can do it. And you know what? The trend in the States now is people get engaged and they do weddings like so fast. How best to handle the cookie monsters at showers and wedding? I wish you were there 14 years ago. Aw, thanks. I don't know if I missed any questions, so if I did, just type them again. How to best handle the cookie monsters at showers and wedding? I know I've mentioned this before, but if you didn't hear this story, at my shower I had 200 women, and almost every woman came in with a tray. And they felt like they had to leave. They had to fill their tray before they left. So what happened at my shower was I was hiding the bags that you could put your cookies in and under the table, and someone took them out because they thought they'd be nice for display, and people started taking the cookies before we even started eating. I did not have one cookie in my shower. I was so upset. Plus, each person was going home with a bowl of cookies that we pre-wrapped for them, because when I got married we started doing that, which I was so against, but you can't win every fight, and I just let whoever wanted to do it. I had no part in that. Now, my take on cookies for showers, I mean, I like the idea of cookies. I like, your mom's, probably your grandmother, whoever has been waiting so long to make these cookies for your shower. Let them do it. I like tradition, but I also think people need to have some kind of like control yourself. Like, you don't have to take a whole bag of cookies like before we even start eating. For me, I would keep the cookie table open from when you walk in. I don't like the moment where you're like, okay, the cookie table's now open, and then 200 people get up and you have to wait in the lineup. I'm not a big fan of that. If there's another way to get around that, I would just have the cookies open. If you come and you're one of the first people there and you have to wait for everybody to get there and you're hungry, you could take the cookie and eat it. I'm not against that. I'm against you taking cookies home as if you're owed the cookies to go home. For me, it's have the cookies while you're there. They're for the shower. Have it with your coffee. Have as many as you like. And then if there's left over, you take home. But now it's just a known thing that you're taking cookies home for your husband, or for them to go stale on the counter like they do in my house when my husband's on a diet. So I really feel bad because there's a lot of money that goes into those cookies, believe it or not, and a lot of time and hard work. So hopefully they don't end up in the garbage, but we have to come up with something better than what's going on. Thieves of cookies, yes. How does the bride and groom protect themselves from companies they book with in case they go out of business before your wedding? Good question. I think you're SOL because you have to put deposits. But maybe when you have contracts, you can make sure you put it in the contract with them, some kind of stipulation if you're really that worried. Let's see. Okay, so another question here. Did I know Supreme closed? Someone asked me, did you know Supreme closed? The Supreme Banquet Hall, Western Road. I did not know that, but I haven't been there in years, so I guess it was inevitable. I haven't had many brides booking their weddings with me there. I don't know. Hi, Roland. Who's out there? Thank you for your honest reply. This is me. I try to be honest. I'm not Don Cherry, but I try to be honest. Hopefully I don't offend people. Not everybody's going to have the same opinion as me. That's why. If you have a different opinion, go ahead. Shout it out. What else? How to pick a date. I don't know what that meant because I'm like a doctor and then I don't understand my writing. Someone wrote, why not marry at a banquet hall? If you messaged me that, can you message me again? Because I didn't really understand what you were asking. When to start ordering bridal bouquet and bridesmaids and others? What, bouquets for everyone? When you book your wedding, book your venue, book your ceremony. One of the first things I do is go see a florist, and because that's going to help you. I mean, that's usually one of the biggest budgets is your flowers. So that's going to help you figure out, first of all, where the look of your wedding is going, and how much of your budget you're going to use for your flowers. Now, how far in advance do you have to book? There's no rule, but again, if you try to book your favorite florist in the world a month before your wedding, first of all, they're going to have to order flowers, so they're going to be very limited on what they can order at that point, and they might not be available. So the earlier, always the better, especially if you want someone specific. What is going rate for Busta these days? Non-related. I would still put $200 a person. Non-related, but at least you know them, right? $350 is the lowest I would go. Where do you see your bride and groom's billing hall? Like, what's the number one hall in Bonn? What's the number one hall in Bonn? Well, number one means something different to everybody. A lot of my brides always tend to want to go see Chateau Le Parc, and I know I seem like I prefer them. A, I do like the building. B, I do like the privacy. It's not like, 6 halls and then you can hear the music and all that stuff. But the main reason I like Chateau Le Parc is because I know the owners, and not because I know the owners, but I know how the owners run their venue, and I've been there for weddings, and I know how they've run all their other venues that they've had, and I can tell you that they know what they're doing. They're very professional, and they're worth the money. And when you think about how much you want to spend on a plate, you have to also consider where you're going and what you don't have to spend. Like if you're going somewhere and you're being charged, I don't know how, $100 a plate, you're probably going to go drape the walls, and you're going to go rent chairs, you're going to go, so in the end, per head, what you're spending, if you divide everything, you're going to be spending the same, if not more, to go to a hall that you think you're only paying $100 a plate, but you're paying for all this other decor. You might as well pay for a place that, like Chateau Le Parc, you don't have to drape anything. I don't believe you do. But, and they have nice chairs and their cutlery and their glasses and their plate. Everything's nice. Same thing with Arlington. Everything's nice. So that's part of what you're paying in your plate, but so you have to look at everything. I had the same question. What's in style? What are the trends you see going forward for 2020? Well, in the beginning of this year, there was a lot of, garden-y look, a lot of greenery. What I'm starting to see is a lot more color coming, which is very exciting. And even in the candles, there's a lot more color in the candles. And I like what I'm seeing is the very loose arrangements. I'm not talking loose like greenery, but many different types of flowers that just look like they've been picked out of the garden. I love that asymmetrical look that's happening. I got married at Le Parc 22 years ago. Family still talks about the food. Okay, so Le Parc, I just did a wedding there in September. The staff was very good. The food was it was good. I don't have any complaints. But we draped the whole hall. So these are things that, look into whether or not you want to do that. Any suggestion to venue with similar setup as a doctor's house and Old Mill, preferably in the northern part of the city? There is a new venue that's called Mount Alverno, and I haven't gone to see it, but I want to go see it. I've sent clients to go see it, actually. I know it's a little bit higher budget, but they have a barn, they have a whole bunch of, they have a spa, you can stay there. I don't know if that answers your question. Any suggested venue? I don't think they have like an old looking house there, but there's so many further north. Let me think. See, these are questions I wish I had beforehand, because I have 3 kids and I can't think too much like what to say in the spot. I have to get used to that. I got married at Roma in Mississauga 14 years ago. They were good to us. I don't even know that place, but I'll check it out. Is it still there? What's your opinion on barn venue as versus a banquet hall? Okay, so barn can mean many different things. Barn can have a kitchen, and barn cannot have a kitchen, just like tent. So just keep in mind that when you go to a barn and they don't have a kitchen within the barn, they're cooking the food elsewhere, and then they're bringing it in, those trolleys that keep the food warm. So, but it doesn't do really good job at keeping everything warm like you'd like. And things take longer because of the travel. Hold on, I'm losing people with all these questions. But I love the look of a barn venue. So if you have a good caterer and you make sure that they have enough, servers, you have enough bartenders, then everything, I would get extra for a place like that because it'll help things run smoother. Now, again, it depends on barn. What you mean by that? Are we talking barn where the doors are open? Because then you're looking at bugs. Then you're looking at wind, heat. It depends where you're talking about. If you can find a place that looks like a barn but is not technically a barn, that might work out better. What do you think about Prince of Wales in Niagara on the Lake? Have you ever done a wedding there? I have not done a wedding there. So I can't really answer that. I love the Prince of Wales and the other hotels that are associated with that. So I've eaten there, and so I have no doubt that they would do a good job. But when I do in there, I will let you know. Which month is a good time to get married? Which month is a good time to get married? Well, if you're in love, it's a good time to get married. But every month has its ups and downs. It used to be, everybody wants to get married in the summer. Now people, I'm too hot, I can't get married in the summer. The very popular month is September and October. September is very popular because it's still nice outside, but it's not like sweltering heat. So I have a lot of my clients want September 1st. If that doesn't work, then they'll do, May, June, because it's still not hot. But you have to be careful in certain months, depending on where you're going to have your ceremony, where you're going to have your reception. Always think about bugs. Always think about heat. Or you could just get married in January like I did, because you're guaranteed snow and not the slushy, nasty, maybe it might snow December kind of snow. We're talking legit snow, just keep piling up on top of each other because you know for sure what you're getting. You can't be surprised. And it won't rain. I don't think it would rain, but every other month it could rain. So I don't know if I answered your question, but the most popular month people start off looking at is September. It's not like it used to be where the summer months were as popular. Let's see here. Your experience with end of May weddings. What do I need? What do you mean, what do you need? Buy some umbrellas, just in case. If I don't know, where's your ceremony? I've done weddings like first week of June 4th, at the Courtright Center, and we had a basket with bug spray and afterbite, and the bride got bitten during her ceremony. If you're having it outside, that's something I would consider what the weather's going to be like. So I'm not sure what do you mean, what you need. Maybe you can be more specific on that. Did your husband really go to the venue where Mike from Jersey Shore? Yes, he did. January, see? Sorry, I'm just scrolling, guys. Okay, I don't want to lose you now. What did I press? I've done a tent wedding September. It was freezing. Yes, I've gone to a tent wedding. Oh my gosh, when did my cousin John Paul get married? Babe, you remember when John Paul got married? And we went up north, and it was what was it called? Because it was a nice house, but we were outside in the tent. We were frozen. We wanted to keep our jackets on. Nana was sitting in the car parking. Make sure heaters, yes. Make sure there's enough heaters, though. Because at that wedding I was just talking about, there were 3 heaters, and I think there were like 150 people maybe. Or 100, I don't, let me think. Maybe 150 people, and it was not, we kept moving it around, the heaters around. Towards where the babies and the pregnant ladies were. Okay. Hold on. I'm trying to scroll. Why isn't it happening? I feel like I lost some things here. Okay. I thought I lost you guys, but I don't think I did. Let's see. Did I have another question that was sent to me? Well, like I said, someone wrote, why not get married at a banquet hall? Why not get married at a banquet hall? There's no reason why not to get married at a banquet hall. You just have to take in consideration, are you getting married in the same banquet hall where your guests have to eat? In the same room where your guests have to eat? Because if you do, then you need to do a flip. And when you need to do a flip, it needs to be timed out correctly. And Doesn't always work out the way you think it's going to work out. Doesn't always take only an hour to do a flip. So you just have to be able to be okay with, not being right on schedule. I did a flip at this venue, I don't want to say, and the air conditioning was not working. And it was just a horrible experience because we had everyone in the lobby because we wanted to do a flip. Like the flip was behind the curtain. It was really one big room, but there was a curtain to make the lobby, and there were so many people packed in one spot, and it was raining outside, so no one could go outside for air, and someone fainted. Not that that's gonna happen because you have a ceremony at a venue, but that's what happened to us. So we were in one room with a tent, with just a curtain dividing us, and flipping it was not fun. You also have to consider that when you do a ceremony at a venue and you're going straight into reception without having a cocktail hour, you're just going straight into reception or receiving line, you're going to have a crowd of at least 100 people going all to the same area at once. So it always looks like chaos until you get the line going. So just keep that in mind. But, if you get married at a venue, you just got to make sure you have your license, you have your officiant, you have your musicians. It does work out better when you have a separate room for ceremony. But if you have to do a flip, you have to do a flip, and it's been done. How many guests is too much? How many guests is too much? Well, I had 700, and I don't think it was too much. It was amazing. It was so much fun. So I don't know how many guests is too much. Well, if the venue tells you that they fit 400 people, 400 people is too much. Do never go to the max that they tell you, because they try to squish you in like crazy. And you don't want your guests to be tight, and when they have to lift up their chairs, they're going to hit the person behind them, or when the servers have to serve, that there's no room. Also, you want to keep in mind, if they say we fit 400, do you need a band? Does there need to be room for a stage? How big do you want the stage for your bridal party? All that stuff is to be taken into account when they tell you the amount of people fit in there. What late night stations do you find guests enjoy most, and do you think live stations for more of a young crowd? I think that everybody likes to eat again after they drank and they partied a bit. I find like the sweets maybe is a little bit, you don't need as much as I normally see, like a bunch of cakes. But I've seen so many cool things at the end of the night, especially if you have a patio. I've seen spaducci. I love the pasta allo olio at midnight. Like, that's just me. But yeah, it keeps your guests there. Sometimes people stay longer because they see that there's a late night station. Just be careful when you have those kinds of stations. I tend not to announce them because you lose the whole crowd. So if you can have stations in a setting where people don't have to go far, that's great. Who should I ask to read at my wedding? I have so many people to choose from. So pick your bridal party first. And then, you have to see who's closest to you. Who's in your bridal party? Are they all friends? Are they cousins? And then think about who might get offended first. People like cousins who are not in the bridal party, a sister who's not in the bridal party, godparents. Those are usually the first people we go to for readings. Don't forget the vendor table. Yes, always feed your vendors. We'll have a whole discussion on that. What do you think about receiving lines versus going around the table to thank people? I've seen people have receiving lines and still going around to thank people. I'd rather you do a receiving line and get it over with in the first hour, and then you can go chat with whoever you need to, whoever you want to, because if you're going to spend your whole evening going around to say hi to everybody because you didn't get a chance in the beginning, you won't enjoy your evening, and there is a lot to do in the evening, and we're just going to have to keep calling you to come sit down because we're going to have to do a speech, and there's food service, and the food's ready, and we don't want it to be cold. So it's very hard for you to even get to every guest to go around the tables. Depending again how big your wedding is, but just get it over with in the beginning. That's what I say. You need that hour anyway to allow people to show up. You can't say we're starting at 6. It never happens. No one shows up when you say they say when you tell them to show up. You have to give them, a reason to be late. So, let's see. What late? Okay, I answered that. How much do people typically budget for flowers and decor? What is the average cost? That's a hard question. because it all depends on what you want. You know, if you're looking for something that's hydrangeas and roses, well, your budget's not going to be as high as someone who wants orchids. You know, you have, at this day and age, you got to spend at least $100 on a centerpiece, and that's very cheap. Like a little arrangement like this now is going to be, especially for what's in style, is going to be $100 for something that's small. Average, I know people are spending like 150 to 200 per centerpiece, and I usually go by what the centerpiece cost is to tell me whether or not, you know, this is expensive or not. I don't know if that answers your question. You know, bridal bouquets, $200 to $300 is average. Now, I don't know. It depends what you want. You know, if you want an arch full of flowers as opposed to an arch with a couple flowers here and there, it's going to